I'm JD with the Nerdery. I'm here with Doug Jones. Doug Jones, you can probably know him as Abe Sapien. He was the Silver Surfer. He's been in everything. Everything. I just spent the past 20 minutes looking at your resume. It's a lot. It's a lot to read.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 30 years and I'm old, so I just had time to rack them up. It's not because I'm good, I promise.
I would beg to differ, and I'm sure a lot of our watchers and listeners would beg to differ as well.
Can they hear us? Can you all hear us?
Yeah,
it's a very good mic. Okay, good, because we're really far, and I'm like.
And I have to say, you first caught my attention playing the Ice Cream Man in Legion.
That's the first thing you remember me from, really?
That's the first thing that like really jumped out and grabbed me.
Wow.
I'm like, man, that just looks so cool. And a lot of the parts that you play are under heavy prosthetics.
Yeah. That was my real
how does that wear on you physically?
Oh, well, exactly how you think it would. When you're in a makeup process for 5 hours a day before you even get to the set, you're already a little bit spent, a little bit down, and you got to bring all the energy up for the camera. Yeah. So it is, and you're a little bit hotter than you want to be. It's a little bit heavier than you want it to be. You can't see, you can't hear very well, depending on what the design is. So, I could go on for days about the specifics of each character, but, again, 30 years of characters, and they all come with their own little infirmity, their own, challenges.
Yes. I saw something you have coming up. I don't know if you can talk about it, and I don't know.
If you saw something I could probably talk about. So
Nosferatu.
Yes, I can talk about it. We did a remake of Nosferatu, but they're calling it a remix because old film footage was taken from the old film, taking the other actors out and leaving the matte shot of the background. We're filmed on green screen modern day, and we combined the two. But of course, we did it all in silent film style. I didn't look exactly like Max Schreck. They did I was very much my own Nosferatu. It's going to be he's got the markings, the pointed ears, the eyebrows, the more buck-tooth fangs. But it's a design that is a little bit older looking and a little bit more hideous. If you can imagine something more hideous than Max Schreck, who was gorgeous as Nosferatu. So anyway, yes, the Count Orlok character is something I've been wanting to play for decades. That's my dream bucket list character. If I can play him, I'll die happy. And now I have. So I was like, So we're done with principal photography. We've got one more day of reshoots to do, and then post-production is going to take quite a while because of that process I just explained to you. If you want to see that process in another film that our director did, David Lee Fisher, he and I worked together 10 years ago on a movie called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, another old silent film that we re-updated but did it with the old style. It was in black and white. It was done very much with the vintage look. And he stays very true to the silent film, but writes dialogue, so it's a talkie with sound, and the dialogue helps flesh out the story you saw in silent version. So it's not a rewrite. It's not a reimagining of the story. It's a replica of that story, but now with sound and dialogue that helps answer a lot of the questions you had in a silent film where you can't hear them saying everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we did with Nosferatu as well, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Estimated release?
No, we don't have a distributor yet. They're fighting over us now because an article came out in Variety magazine that Doug Jones is playing Nosferatu, and our director was inundated with phone calls that day.
Oh wow!
Right, so he's got his pick of distributors now, but it's so I don't know if we pick one or not. That's a responsibility that's not mine. Thank heaven. Thank heaven. Yeah.
And you also have history as a mime.
Oh gosh, bless your heart. You hate mimes. We all hate mimes, right? I started as a mime. Yes.
You didn't list it before.
I didn't.
No.
What do you mean I didn't list it before?
Well, what we can't talk about.
Well, no. I'm happy to talk about. No. I know. No, I'm happy to talk about how much people hate mimes. Yes. And I know this for a fact because my first job out of college was as a mime at Kings Island in Cincinnati, Ohio, a theme park. And I was on the street that had a fountain area with an Eiffel Tower in it, and so it was the French look. And I was the mime kind of walking around the streets going, and messing with people. And I found out that people don't want to be messed with, right? Why? And children, poor kids, and their parents like, look at the mime, or the clown, they thought. And clowns are not mimes, there's a difference. Okay, so, look at the clown, honey, it's a clown. And then the kids like doing this, because there's this tall guy with a white face and black lines on him going, They don't want to see that. They don't want that coming to touch their. Hello, John. And he's not talking, and I wasn't talking. Oh, so it's like, why is the quiet man coming at me? Stop it! So I got that a lot for a whole 3 months of my life. I was scaring children every day.
I was about to say,
and it was hard to feel good about myself. It was hard to feel good. Yeah. So yes, I'm a mime.
and you're also a contortionist.
Well, I don't want to boast, but I can put both my legs behind my head at the same time, which makes me very popular in certain circles. But listen, no, it's more than. No, I'm kidding. Okay, it's more than just a party trick. No more burritos for you, young man.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so,
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so contortionist, yes. It's being flexible has come in very handy with wearing lots of crazy makeups and creatures. Because I can squat and my knees come up to here, all kinds of things.
And a Tide commercial.
Tide.
Was it Tide? It was a commercial.
What did I do?
You stuffed yourself in a box.
For Lee Jeans.
Lee Jeans. That's it. Lee Jeans.
Into a little glass box. Yes. Wow. You saw that on the Webernet or something? Where did you find that out?
20 minutes and I can do a lot of reading.
Okay. There you go.
And you are also raised a devout Christian.
Yes, and I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana, to a couple of very devout Christian parents. So that's something that I just was a part of my life and has continued to be.
And I read that you had apprehensions on playing Abe Sapien in Hellboy.
Well, think of it. I'm offered this role in a movie called Hellboy, and the lead character is a demon from hell. And so the first thing I thought is, oh gosh, such a sweet offer. I'm going to read the script tonight and I'll get back to Guillermo del Toro who offered it to me. But I was already thinking, how am I going to tell him no? I got to tell him no because I can't do it, I'm sure. Then I got to, how am I going to, read the script and was like, oh my gosh, this is not anti-Christian at all. In fact, it actually helps, it's got such a great message to the movie. So when I talked to Guillermo del Toro on a finger phone that night, I said, Guillermo, I just read your script, it's beautiful. Why am I not offended as a Christian? Well, how did you do that? And he said, it was not meant to offend you, my friend. He said, think about it. How many of us carry around in our lives things from our past that weigh us down? And who better to, embody that than a demon from hell, his background? So we have a choice. We have a choice to cut it away or to let it haunt our present. We can cut it away and let it be in the past, or leave it as our, So it's like, there's the message right there, folks. Right? How many of us drag around our past with us and let it affect our today when it shouldn't? And that is a very Christian theology right there. Is that our past, if our past is full of sin and darkness, we can go and ask for forgiveness from the God who made us, and He will do just that. He says so all over the Bible. There you go. Boom. We're having church. Okay.
I also want to talk about Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Aw, Halloween movie from Disney.
I grew up with that.
Everyone your age did. How old are you, puppy? You're
31.
He's a puppy. Yeah. So, and the movie came out in theaters 23 years ago. So, yeah, you would have been that big.
There's been a lot of whispers and rumors about them making a sequel.
Well, the whispers and rumors are coming from fans mostly, and fans with great photoshopping skills who have made posters for Hocus Pocus 2 already. And it's like, no, not happening yet. Now, there has been talk among the actual Disney studio people. They've been tossing around the idea of a 20-year later storyline. I would be a part of that, yes. If it happens, that's a huge if.
Huge if.
Yeah.
But it's comforting to know that you'll be back if it's back.
And I would love to come back. I would love to reprise Billy Butcher some more than I can say. But for the time being, if you've seen a storyline out there, or hey, Lorraine Newman's in it, and they've taken over New York City. Now, someone made that up. Someone with a great imagination made that up. It's a good story, but it's not our story.
All right, well, there you have that. And I have one last question for you.
Yes,
we ask everybody the same question.
Okay.
What
I
in
was
your
young,
mind,
I needed the money. What?
I'll find out about that.
Okay.
I can read a lot in 20 minutes. Imagine what I can do in an hour.
I'm sorry. What?
What in your mind is the definition of a nerd?
Of a nerd? Oh. Is there a one-word answer, or can I?
Oh, you
Okay.
however you see it.
Definition of a nerd. Well, it's changed because when I was in high school, nerd was not a good thing, wasn't a cool thing, wasn't a hip thing. It was like it was a picked on, made fun of thing. Now, nerds are like the forefront of culture. It's like the nerds are paving the way for other nerds to be nerds. It's like it's like great. That nerds appreciate art, they appreciate fantasy, they appreciate science. They're smart people who understand technology, computers. And they're so smart that like a regular story of talking head people is not enough to entertain them. They need more. So hence spaceships, other worlds, other languages, other species. Now we're talking, right? A nerd can take all that in unlike anybody else in the world. That's why they're the coolest people on Earth.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I think I'm not going to waste any more of it.
Oh, it's not been a waste. We've had love here today.
We've had a lot of fun.
Coming. Right. I know.
He's so tall. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yay. So thank you for pulling that together so fast. Because we had time. We had time.
Yes.
Tomorrow this wouldn't have been able to happen. So